Welcome to the Switched On Christian Education digital curriculum. This is your login page, and everybody has their own username and password that is unique to them. And this is what you need to access the curriculum. Before we start, I want to point out that it has a Christian worldview and has a dedicated Bible course starting at grade 3 and going through to grade 12. So we are in the student application, and you can see that this is a biology course, and most of the courses have the same interface, just with the different course names. So we start off our biology course with some text and the goals that the children will be looking at to complete by the end of the unit. It then goes into the new vocabulary that will be presented in this unit. Let's have a look at some of the features. So one of the features here is the voice feature. So if a child does not know what this word is, we just click on the word.
Taxonomy.
So it will pronounce the word for the student, and they, especially if it's a word that they've never seen or heard before, they'll be able to hear what the sound of the word is. We look, and then next to or opposite the new vocabulary is the definition of that word, so that they can understand what the definition of that word is. Beneath that is a vocab arcade. And in there are two games. One is a spelling bee, which then helps them learn the spelling of those new vocab words they've just been introduced to. And then alongside that is a flashcard game, which is a game which reinforces the definition of that new vocab word, so that they can use both of those games before entering into the full lesson, just to make sure and that they have understood those vocab words and definition of those vocab words. So if we continue into the lesson on biblical taxonomy, you will see there's some script and there's some more features here within that script. So let me just show you some of those features. So we're going to just highlight this section of the lesson, and we're going to go up to the voice. So we're going to choose a voice. We've chosen Michael.
From creation, it had always been observed that kinds of living things with similar characteristics continue to reproduce similar offspring. Genesis records that each living thing reproduces after its kind.
So you can see that you can highlight some of the text, choose a voice, and then they can have it read to them. So this is really a good feature for those auditory students who, you will notice as the word is read, it is enlarged, so they can associate the eyes, the eyes and the ears can see and hear the word that is being said. That's the next feature. So if we look here, you see a Power Pop quiz, an embedded feature for them to enjoy.
Did you know that there are more than 10,000 known ant species around the world? How many species have been named and cataloged so far?
This just is an embedded feature where the students, it helps with just reading, so that there's something different and it keeps their attention. And so that's important when they're working, so that they keep engaged in the work. So another feature is a clip. So I'm just going to play a short piece of the clip.
Ancient peoples categorized living things as useful or harmful, or as something that tastes good and is beneficial, or something that tastes bad and is poisonous.
So you can see it's a high quality clip, and the person delivering the clip is obviously an expert in the area. Underneath, you'll notice there's this show transcript. If I click on there, it is actually the written version of what the person has said. This is particularly valuable when it comes to subjects like maths, and other subjects like experiments where they've got steps to the solving the problem, and maybe the student wants to just go back and highlight those steps and include the steps that maybe they've forgotten. Instead of listening to the whole video, they can go to the show transcript and they can just find the place where that person said that, and then they'll be able to just hone in or focus in on where they were looking for that particular step that they may have missed. We move on then. You can see there's some more text, and then there's this fun embedded Q&A. I just want you to have a look at that.
It's time for another edition of the Q&A show. Here he is now, that man with a mind that spans the galaxy of knowledge. It's Art O. Fact.
Hi there, and welcome to the Q&A show. If you have a question, I have an answer.
Again, just a fun application within the curriculum so that it keeps their attention and it keeps things moving, it keeps them colorful, interactive, and instead of just having a blank screen with lots of writing, you can see it's a lot more engaging. If you notice on the side here, it's got a little sticky note that says My Note. I've just typed anything in there where it just to demonstrate for you that they are able to keep electronic notes within the system, and wherever they've kept those notes, it will have that little sticky note there on the side to remind them that's where they've kept their notes. Moving now down onto the questions, you'll notice that there are different types of questions. So there's match it questions, there's choosing the right answer questions, there's true or false questions, and then there's questions right at the end where they have to come up with the answer themselves, just given a blank a page like this. What I want to draw your attention to, as soon as the students have completed their questions, you will notice that they get instant feedback. So the ones that are correct are green, the ones that are incorrect are red, and the ones that are partially correct are yellow. This is very important for today's student because they are looking for instant feedback and they're not wanting to wait for their teacher to give them back their graded paper. They're wanting to know instantly how they can get on with their work. This was just a few features of the Switched On Education curriculum so that you can see the different features and how engaging it is, and the children instant feedback and they are engaged.